welcome to Old Truthford, the home of honestly biased sports content. We are just going to be running through the player ratings for the match against Galatasaray. The result ended with Galatasaray scoring 3 and Manchester United scoring 2, despite Onana not having to save a penalty, but Galatasaray missing a penalty. So they not only did they score 3 goals, they missed a penalty on top of that as well. Hey Caleb, how's it going, man? So I'm just going to run through quickly my personal player ratings. So let's pull this up. Okay, Onana, I'm going to give him a solid 3.5. Absolutely capitulated, resorting in us just losing the match pretty much. We're going to cry ourselves to sleep. Cry ourselves to sleep, cry when we're awake. Resulted in Casemiro getting a red card as well. Oh, not. Okay, actually, yeah, scrap that. Not only having some technical difficulties at the moment. I don't know what happened there. Let's have a quick look here. Apologies, my friends. Let's see if I can pull this up for us. Okay, let's go through these player ratings again. I think Onana, 3.5 was actually generous because considering the impact of that mistake and Casemiro is going to have to miss the next few games, 2.7 for Onana. Not to mention this is the second time in the Champions League where Onana's cost us. So that's 2 games in a row. It's not just for once. I can see Christian Eriksen doing a post-match interview at the moment, but he can hold his head up high. He did very well when he came on. Lindelof, absolutely absent. He can get a 4. Varane, slightly better, but how are we conceding 3 goals? Not 3.5, 4.5 for Varane. We're going to go for Delo, even though he made the mistake in the first half, which just essentially let Zaha do whatever he wanted. I'll give Delo. I'm giving Delo a 4.1. 4.2. I still think he was only ever so slightly better than Lindelof, but Lindelof got absolutely turned for one of their goals. Let's see. Amrabat. I thought he had a decent game, to be honest. I think he got further forward. He was actually getting a lot more involved in the attacking sense as well as defensive, and previously we've only seen him defensively, so I think he can actually hold his head up high. I'm giving Amrabat a 6.5. I think he was average. I think it wasn't like a world-beating performance. It wasn't above average, but compared to the rest of the defence, night and day, he actually did his job, and he's not even a left-back, which is mind-blowing when you think about it, isn't it? Casemiro. He picked up the red card, but he kind of had to. He had to keep us in the game, but it all ended up that challenge won't be remembered as well because we just went on to to get absolutely destroyed. In the Premier League, only Sheffield United have conceded more goals than us in all comps this season. So we're associated with the likes of Sheffield, Luton, and Bournemouth. That's good. That's good to see. So let's have a look here for Casemiro. I think he made the ultimate sacrifice, but still he didn't have a very good game. I'm giving him a 5. Still better than the defensive line, but yeah. If you get a red card, you get a red card. He's lucky to get a 5 with a red card, in all honesty, but I saw that as he had to make that challenge. Let's see, Mason Mount. For Mason Mount, I'm probably going to go for a... I'm probably going to go for a 5 as well. People are... I'll give him... He didn't get a red card. I'll give him a 5.2. I think... he's just still not bedded into the team, or like there's no clear idea of where we're going with this. It's just... It just feels like he's here for the ride, to be honest. I haven't seen anything from him where I'm like, okay, this is why you're in the team. Other than energy, what is he really providing? Hannibal, I'll give him a 5 point. Was he better than Mount? I can't say that he was. I can't say Hannibal was better than Mount. I'd probably say Hannibal. I'll give him a solid. I'll give him a solid 5.1. I can't say that he really made. That first half was kind of a nothing half, other than the Rashford assist to Højlund. I mean, yeah. Rashford. I'm gonna give him a 6.7, 6.8. Nah, 6.7. I think improved from the last few games. Picked up an assist, and yeah, people are going to highlight, why did he pass to Bruno rather than take the shot on himself? If people want to know the real answer to that question, the reason Rashford didn't take that shot is because he's been hounded for being a selfish player for the past few weeks, and it's got so much into his head that you can literally see him hesitating to shoot. Rashford doesn't take shots anymore. And if he's gone gun shy because of something else, I'd like to know why it is. But I don't find it coincidental that as soon as people start saying, oh yeah, Marcus Rashford, he's such a selfish player, and then suddenly he stops taking shots. He's clearly listening to what people say, which no real top athlete should do unless it's their managers telling them something. And it's playing on him. But still, better performance from Rashford, in my opinion. Højlund, I'm going to give him an 8. To be honest, I don't think you can ask more from Højlund. He seized his opportunities. He was desperate to get on the end of that cross from Rashford, and yeah, what more can you say? I mean, Højlund's the only shining light that I can see. So yeah, 100%. I don't see how you can vote Højlund less. He's only 20 years old. Bruno. Let's talk about Bruno. I think I'd probably give Bruno... I think he had a decent game. I think he was better than our midfield. I think especially in the second half when we were turning the pressure before the Onana mistake, Bruno was getting into some good positions. He was setting people up. But overall, the funny thing is about this game is I think our attack was actually pretty good. I think our attack was improved, but our defense was terrible, which is a complete flip on our previous match where the attack couldn't do anything, but our defense was fairly solid. So who knows what's going on with Manchester United at the moment? How can you actually predict what's going to happen in any game? So, but yeah, I'll die on the hill. I think Bruno had a better game today. I think I would give him. I'd give him a 6.3. I think still below average for his standards, but I still think very good. I think he had a decent game. I think had that Onana incident not happened, then the momentum would have carried Bruno and he'd be picking up at least an assist or a goal towards the end of the match. But the whole landscape was changed after the mistake. So yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go through your guys' comments, see what you guys are saying. So, yeah, Luke wouldn't give 2.7 to Onana. I think Onana's going to get a ridiculously low score tonight, to be honest. Caleb agreeing, 0.5 for Onana. Højlund, 10 out of 10, outstanding game. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10, because I think that means that like literally every touch you do as a forward is just going for, it's just moving the game forward and yeah, progressing everything. I think there's still areas where Højlund needs to work on. Like there were a couple of runs where if he went into a different position, I think he would have got into more goal scoring opportunities. But you can't complain really. There's not much for Højlund to improve on from that performance. JB, Onana needs to be dropped. I agree. I think it's about time now. If he doesn't get dropped now, when will he be? Because you can't keep making mistakes as a first team player and a first team goalkeeper and then just, doing whatever you want. Like, you can't just keep getting 4.2. What? 4.2 for Delo. I think he made the mistake as soon as he made the mistake from our first goal. We scored, and then shock, Delo doesn't mark Zaha properly, and that just leads on to the rest of the match. I think it set the tempo for the game, and I think Delo has been culpable for that on a few occasions where he has been the person who makes the mistake or looks nervous, and then you see the whole energy of the team just shift. It's not ideal. Luke Taylor, dropped. Get your money back, mate. I hope you still got the receipt. De Gea's still a free agent. I mean, I was saying this during the watch along. Like, I don't want to sound dramatic, but. And I know we won't do it because the Glazers aren't going to say, "Oh yeah, let's spend another let's spend another few mil on getting David De Gea back with his wages," because he will demand more money if we were to get him back. But they're not going to pay for that as well as a new goalkeeper, as well as the new goalkeeper's wages. So it's never going to happen. It's fantasy land. But honestly, if I was a part of the Man United management structure, I'd at least be asking the question. I'd be like, could we actually get De Gea back? Like, why not? Amrabat class. Yeah, Amrabat's just solid, to be honest. You know, he's the type of player where you know what you're going to get out of him. He's like an old school United player where no matter what's happening in the game, you know you're going to get at least an average performance. He's the type of player that you put your hat on and you say, oh, okay, Amrabat, cool. We can trust you. David De Gea, come back, please, says Calum. Casemiro was class. Eriksen Casemiro was class. To be honest, if I was him, I would have done the exact same. Well, he was average in the first half, but if I was Casemiro, I would have done the exact same thing when it came to challenging that player in the box, because pivotal moment in the game, you don't want to concede a goal. you need to at least give the team an opportunity, and they ended up not scoring. So like he did what he had to do. Casemiro, Eriksen, 100% class. Eriksen coming onto the pitch completely changed the game, and yeah, I'd love to see more of him moving forward. Rashford below par. Come on, how are you putting Rashford below par? He got the assist, Luke. JB, Mount was good. I don't know if Mount was class, guys. I mean, nah, I can't see it. I can't see it yet. I'm not just judging Mount on goals and assists either. I'm just like looking at patterns of play. I want to see more from him. Bruno below par. Yeah, Bruno was below average, but still, I think the attacking three, there wasn't much wrong with them, to be honest. I don't think it was too bad. There was anything too bad with the attacking three. I think they did their jobs, but the rest of the team, especially the defense, let them down. Varane and Lindelof on furlough. Casemiro better game than Amrabat. Nah, I didn't have a better game than Amrabat. Onana is absolutely awful. Need to get our money back on him. Aaron Hayward, I've now said I won't be watching a United game now until we get new owners. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll come back. It's like heroin, man. It can't stop. Seeing how Lindelof celebrated that penalty miss to then go on and just make the mistakes that the defence did. What are they? Just such weak mentality players. Mount needs more work. Agree. Luke, Mount improving game by game. Diego, 2.7 Onana, my word, just tuned in. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's generous as well, to be honest. The reason I'd give him a 2.7 is because he's made similar mistakes in 2 Champions League games in a row. In a cup competition, in a group stage, how can you make game-losing decisions twice? Yeah. Oh, man. Gary, shocking. These mistakes are awful. Onana looks CRAP. I was expecting wobbles with him, but this is too much. Yeah. It's becoming a bit of a joke at this point. Agree with Gary. Some growing pains expected, but that pass today, along with other errors, is way too much. Well, he needs to be benched. And I don't know if that's going to do anything for his confidence, but that's the fact of the matter. He needs to be benched. Luke, can't get over that mistake for a pen. What is Onana thinking? I just can't get my head around it. Absolutely abysmal, shocking mentality. He can't come out after the match against Bayern Munich and say, "Oh yeah, I put my hands up and it's all my fault and we lost because of me today and all this stuff." I literally posted about it on the Instagram page. I said, "Okay, cool. We're not going to judge you for one mistake, but players can't just keep coming out and saying all of this motivational shiz like Delo saying, 'We will bring Manchester United to where they belong,' and Onana saying, 'Yes, we will improve from this,' when they're consistently making mistakes. Your words become hollow if your actions don't back it up, and they're not learning from it." Gary, when Onana came up front, he looked very slow running back. Luke, bring in Bayendir. Can't be any worse from what we're seeing. Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. Like, if we bring Bayendir in, then what's the worst that's going to happen? Oh, he's going to make another mistake. Cool, we've seen it like 3-4 times already. Who really cares at that point? we're seeing at the moment. Varane said they could win it. What? Well, yeah, they could win it, and I could win the lottery. Like, just because you buy a ticket means you can win the lottery. It doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't trust any words that come out of these players' mouths. All I trust is their actions on the pitch, and their actions are not in sync with what they're saying. It doesn't mean anything. Who cares? Like, like genuinely, there's very few players where I think, oh yeah, I really want to listen to what they've got to say. I mean, obviously, I'll post about it because I think it's important to hold them accountable to what they're saying. But I don't take it for anything anymore. If it isn't Martinez and it isn't, let's see who else. Is it just Martinez? I think Martinez is one of the only players in the squad who, if he says something, I will actually think, okay, he means this. Because Varane saying, oh yeah, we've got a chance of winning the Champions League, great. But you're clearly saying that just because you think that you have to. Like, there's no way you believe that. I'm just looking at that third goal, and Varane's legs are fully gone as well. Like, he's sprinting back, and it looks like he's running through treacle. We've got so many old injured players, and just other players who aren't good enough. He runs like a fish riding a bike, and not the first time we've had comparisons similar. If you know, you know. Absolutely words mean nothing, says Gary. Luke, Onana runs like a fish riding a bike. Amrabat as well. Only players I trust at the moment are Amrabat, Hoyland, and Hannibal. Yeah. No, actually, yeah. The problem is with Bruno. He's been tainted by so many managers now as well. When Bruno originally came into his side, he was confident. He was he I don't know. He looked like he was willing to change the fortunes of Man United, but even when Bruno says things now, I just kind of think like, do you really mean that? I wish I didn't think these like this stuff about our players. Okay, gonna move over to the Discord player ratings now. So bear with me while I just work out the average scores from everyone. Okay, so first up is Onana. Okay, Onana has a score of 1.8 on average from the gentlemen and gentle ladies in the Discord. Now we'll move on to Lindelof, who has picked himself up. Who has picked himself up a 4.4 rating. Let me know what you guys think of these ratings in the chat, and I'll get to you after I've put all of these out. Okay, Varane picks up a 4 rating, which is quite 4.1 rating, which is quite interesting. I don't see how Varane had a worse game than Lindelof, considering most of the goals came over from his side. But it's interesting. Amrabat. Amrabat picked himself up a 5 rating, which again I think is a bit low for Amrabat because he didn't really have any part to play in any of the goals. Delo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm expecting a low score from Delo. If Delo somehow got out of this scot-free, considering he's the reason we conceded our first goal, I'll be shocked. Okay, yeah. Delo gets a 3.3. Casemiro's picked himself up a 6.2 rating, which fair enough to Casemiro. I mean, despite the red card, he did what he had to do. I still think that's a bit generous, but because he did literally get a red card. But yeah. Okay, on to Mason Mount. Now I didn't think Mount had the best of games, in all honesty. But let's see what you guys had to say. So yeah, 6.2, which isn't that bad for Mount. 6.2 shows that the majority of people think that he's progressing in the side somewhat, but still. Actually, I'm not going to say that because, in all honesty, if we look at this game objectively, the reason we lost this game was because of the defence. So we can't really say too many critical things when it comes to the forwards or the midfielders. So yeah, I think fair enough. I think that will let's sort this out for you guys. But yeah, fair enough. I think Mount with that score makes sense, in all honesty. I may have rated him a bit lower because I was just, yeah. Hannibal. Let's see what Hannibal picked up. Yeah, do you know what's sad about tonight? We should be celebrating like the official arrival of Højlund, but instead, here we are talking about how shiz our defense is. Okay, Hannibal picked himself up a 5.7. I rated him a bit low, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah. I took essentially 1.0 off everyone in midfield. But no. I think Hannibal was decent. I'm quite interested to see what people vote Højlund and Fernandes. Rashford, let me work this out, has picked up a Rashford has picked up a 6.3 rating. Højlund. Now this will be interesting. Højlund has picked himself up a 9. So Højlund really did impress in today's match. For Fernandes, Fernandes has picked himself up a 5, which I think is a bit harsh in all honesty. Bruno Fernandes picking up a 5 when Hannibal picks up a 5.7. I think Fernandes was much better that second half, but yeah, people are just gonna. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the big players, but people turn on them very quickly. Okay, let's. Well, that's the player ratings all done. Let's see what you guys are saying. So, oh god, Diego, United hater engagement is at full pace online right now. We're Banter FC again. It's a joke. Can't stand it. Luke, I said it at the start of the season that there is one game I'm definitely not watching, and that's one when we go to Anfield, as I don't fancy wasting my time on this group of players bottling it. Now I don't feel like watching anymore, and we're only 10 games in. Helpful TikTok finds. There's surely something wrong at the club. We seem to sign nothing but flops, treating players poorly, especially the departure of De Gea, and players' morale always seem to be low. The club is rotten to the core. Mount was good. You can see his confidence is going up though. Amrabat out of 5 is generous. He didn't look fit, didn't track back much. Garnacho worked harder. Luke, we lost the game because of Onana, no one else. I'd say Onana and Delo. I think there's a bit of a mixture between them and Lindelof. Really, those are the 3 where I think, yeah, not good. Which is why I was surprised to see people voted Varane lower than Lindelof. Like, Varane wasn't really at fault for many of the goals, if any. It's a shame for Højlund, says Diego. Yeah. Luke, not surprised our defence was shocking. They're probably shiz scared the deaf bloke behind them is going to make a mistake. Can't be a comfortable situation to be in. Rashford was decent, was down to confidence. Should have never squared it to Bruno. Yeah. Bang average from Bruno. Shouldn't be taking set pieces. Facts, says Luke. Eriksen should be on most of the free kicks. Luke, I think them ratings are spot on besides Onana. I think he deserves no rating at all. Not worth the place on the page. Ratings are good except for Amrabat, says helpful TikTok finds. Yeah. I think everyone's in pretty much agreement. When it comes to the defence getting the worst scores of the lot. I think Fernandes a 5.0, even with the set pieces, like being a bit poor, still a bit harsh, realistically. I don't even have time for any slander when it comes to any of the forward players, midfielders. We lost this game because of the defence, and they're the ones who should be holding their hands up. And yeah, but yeah, I guess we move from here. Well, I appreciate you all tuning in. It's been a long one, but yeah, I guess we move from here. I don't know if I can handle the Europa League again, to be honest. People slandering Anthony as well. I don't understand the agenda when he's done everything asked of him with regards to investigations. Clueless. Yeah, I don't know how you can slander someone who hasn't been convicted. He's just been accused. Because if that's the case, then I could literally just accuse you, Luke, of doing something, and then cool, does that automatically make you that thing? Like, I don't know. Oh, people aren't clued up on how the law works, though. So, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, folks. Thank you for tuning in. But and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. If you've got the patience. Godspeed.